Welcome to the Global Cycling Network Technology Show, episode number 191.
This week, we have got a diamond polished chain, new gravel shoes, a group set that only costs $300, a shop that only sells spokes, a Harley Davidson and a top secret All Bear.
Wow. Also, we're going to be discussing why motor doping isn't happening, but also how it could be. First up, let's take a look at last week's poll. So, I was away last week, and the poll was, will Alberto Contador drop Ollie in the Tour de Stacion's Everesting event? Options were 100% hashtag pray for Ollie, and then there was also, no, I'll cling on to the remote chance Ollie won't get dropped.
What do you vote for?
I actually voted for clinging on to the chance that you won't get dropped.
Oh, thanks.
Although only 22% of people agreed with me. So 78% of people thought that you were going to get dropped. Now, I do know the outcome of this. However, for everyone to find out the answers to this poll and the very important question, you're going to have to stick around and check a video out on Saturday, aren't you?
Yes, and we've got an accompanying video on the tech channel about the bike and equipment that I used as well in the Tour de Station. So if you want to see me get dropped or not get dropped by Alberto Contador, tune in on Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, main talking point, motor doping.
Yeah. There's been a lot of conspiracy theories, people online typing about this ever since about, 2010, do you think?
Yes. Yeah. And there's continually been sort of incidents throughout that time, and even right now. Like recently, what's got us thinking about it again was this clip from the Tour of Denmark, in which there was a crash and then a rider's bike just skittered across the road like it had a motor in it. Again, this fueled the conspiracy theorists into just slamming away at their keyboards. Once again, motor doping being right.
Are these the same people that type and say the Earth is flat?
Some of them.
Well, in fairness, there have been some instances where riders have been caught motor doping. So let's have a quick little recap. So the first one was in 2016.
And this is the only example
of elite cycling. So the first one in elite cycling was 2016.
And the only one.
Yeah, at the UCI World Cyclocross Champs, and it was the under-23 women's event where a rider was found with a motor and then subsequently banned.
Yes, and there's also been a few amateur motor dopers over the years, the most notable probably being a French Category 3 rider called Cyril Fontaine, who was found guilty of technological fraud and banned for 5 years following a dramatic improvement in his results.
I just love that they improved so much. People are like, not possible.
Yeah, well, I've actually got experience riding a bike with a hidden motor.
What?
Don't worry, not in any GCN videos and not in any races or competitions. But I did have a go at riding a bike up some mountains that had the VVAX assist motor in, which was the one that was found in the one incident of elite doping.
Yeah, okay.
And to be honest, it wasn't very good. VVAX assist doesn't exist anymore. That company's gone.
Maybe
but yes, but I rode it to see if I thought it was possible to cheat with it in a race. I wanted to get an idea about the system. And Si and Dan have tried out the system as well in previous years. And I think we all have the same conclusion that it's just not.
So this is the system that's inside the frame and then the motor drives the crank.
Yeah, so it produces around 200 watts. However, the key thing is it just has very little torque. Yeah. So that 200 watts isn't really that useful. Because you need the torque to deploy that 200 watts.
That's kind of the thing with hidden motors, I guess. To be hidden, they've got to be pretty small.
Yes, and the other thing is it was an incredibly noisy system, and if you're having batteries hidden in the frame, your battery life is very low, which means that you're most of the time lugging around a load of extra weight, a significant amount of weight, like 5 kilos, but then you're only going to get maybe like 30 minutes.
Presumably if it's noisy as well, if in a race, even over the noise of a peloton moving, you'd still probably hear this.
Yeah, even over the race noise, I felt it was so noisy that other people would notice.
Something else which has been spoken about is electromagnetic induction. And this is whereby you turn your bike and wheels into an electronic motor.
Yeah, the Gazzetta dello Sport published a story about this a few years ago. And about 6 years ago, I visited the lightweight factory in Friedrichshafen, Deutschland, and they had a prototype e-bike there that used this principle. It was really, really cool, a great idea. So what they did was they took a set of lightweight wheels and they installed teeny tiny little magnets all the way around the brake track or where the brake track would be, because it was disc brake, on the wheel rims. And then they put coils of wire or key points on the frame, and they actually had this sort of rear shroud sort of integrated mudguard that was actually a whole coil of wire. And the idea being that when the magnet passed through the coil of wire, it would either generate a current in the coil of wire, or a current could be passed through the coil of wire to then spin the wheel through.
So I guess also, like you were saying, there's the other option is that you could use it to generate and recharge power. I guess
yes, that was the really cool thing about this.
Yeah.
So it had a battery hidden in the down tube, and it was actually pretty impressive. They reckoned that it was only 11 kilos, and it could generate 500 watts of assistance. And actually, they reckon they'd ridden it to 100 kilometers per hour unrestricted, which was impressive.
That is impressive, yeah.
But you look at that bike, that's not going to fool anyone. No. And so as soon as you then slim that system down and try and hide it in a road bike, the big problem is having that sort of surface area of coils present in a road bike, because you can only then hide them in a road bike in the stays.
Yeah, so you've got the seat stays or the chain stays.
Yes.
So two small areas.
Yes, and not a huge amount of space for coils there.
So then you lose all your power.
You're losing all your power. And also the other thing is, they said the big problem was the resistance increases massively with the air gap between the magnet and the coil.
Yeah.
So for every 0.1 of a millimeter that you introduce into the system of gap, you're then massively reducing the power that you can potentially produce. And as a result, you're probably going to get brake rub.
Yeah, so
wheel rub
super
on a system like that.
The motor's rubbing, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we dropped the motor's rubbing.
Yeah. Oh. But as you alluded to, yes, one of the incredible things about that system is it can recharge and regenerate the battery, say when you're descending or when you don't have the motor turned on, which I think is brilliant. So not for hidden motors and cheating, but for general e-bike tech, it could be a great
that system sounds like it could be really good. So I wonder if it could maybe be something we'll see used in the future.
It would be cool. I would love to see it. I think it'd be really cool. But in terms of sort of cheating with it and clandestine cycling, then I don't think it would be used, because once again, having batteries and all that stuff, all that gubbins in the bike, it would be very easy to detect for anyone looking for it.
Got a specialist team designed to go to the bike races and check for batteries, hidden motors, and the battery, like you say, is the easiest thing to find.
Yes, and although this was 6 years ago, the technology could have improved. It could have become more efficient since then, but I still don't think it would be used.
No. So during the tour, a Swiss newspaper, Le Temps, Times. Yeah, it does mean the Times. So they reported that anonymous riders were saying of strange metallic noises coming from the rear wheels of anonymous riders.
Yeah, I think the fact that anonymous and anonymity things going on. No one's putting their name on the record. That really doesn't lend much weight to any of these accusations. No. And so I'm very skeptical about this. And I mean, you've got an example of a teeny tiny motor, because
I have this. Yeah, it's a little RC car motor.
So there were images that appeared on Twitter and such alike of teeny tiny motors allegedly in free hubs.
Yeah.
Now, we spoke to an expert as well who said that once you have to fit in all the other gubbins in a free hub, you've got no space for a teeny tiny motor, even though teeny tiny motors, even smaller than that, do exist.
So this one
they use in drones and stuff.
This is 200 watts of power, so quite a substantial amount. But these motors operate at really, really high RPM, so their torque is quite low. So to make them efficient, you then have to have a geared system, which is going to take up even more space. And then, unless you have a substantial sized battery, it's just not going to last very long.
Yes, because that's the thing. When you fit that into the free hub, and you've got the bearings, and you've got your normal ratchet, the free hub mechanism, and you fit that in, okay, we could probably fit in a teeny tiny drone motor, but where's the batteries going? Yeah, that's the thing. And so we're highly skeptical of those systems. However, a Swiss company called Maxon Engineering has actually is sort of at the forefront of teeny tiny motors. They actually make motors for the Mars rovers. So
they know what they're doing.
And they have a system that is kind of like an improvement, like a next gen of the VVAX assist motor.
Yeah. This system only adds a bit of extra weight.
Yeah, so it's lighter. Yeah. It's 3.5 kilograms all in. So that's still a significant amount of weight, but lighter than the previous one. Yeah. It's quieter, has more torque and more power. So it's an improvement. But even still, a system like this is going to be really easy to detect for anyone who's slightly suspicious or looking for it. And it's not going to be able to get you through a Queen stage of a race. Right. It's only going to be good for a bit of kind of like nitro boost on, say, the final climb, which means for the rest of the race, you've still got that problem of lugging all the weight.
I'm very skeptical about all of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm highly skeptical about the use of motors, although there are people who say, well, you could have done a tactical bike change, and that does exist. Yeah. But whenever discussing anything like this or investigating it, I think it's always best to maintain an open mind and assume Sherlock Holmes logic. Well, it's the adage that only when you've eliminated the impossible, however improbable, whatever remains, must be the truth.
And it's not impossible that new motors and new technologies haven't existed, so therefore we can't rule that out.
Exactly, elementary. My dear Peyton.
Oh, thanks, that's very kind. But what is important to think is that we want to know what you guys think about motor doping. Do you think it's possible? So I think we should have a poll on this.
Yes. Do you think motor doping has happened in the last 10 years and people have gotten away with it?
Yeah, we want to know your thoughts. Head over to the GCN app and vote on our poll because I'm intrigued to see what everyone has to say. It's now time for Hot Tech, and first up this week, something that we spotted at the Vuelta is what appears to be potentially a new Orbea Orca Aero. Now, we don't have much details about this, but it does appear to resemble the shape of the Ordu time trial bike, which, let's face it, you and Si absolutely love, don't you?
Oh.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool. It's got a funky paint scheme on it, which I am told has sort of hidden messages within the paint, which you can only see if you wear some special glasses.
I mean, that's doing it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the paint.
Yeah.
And the aero.
It does look cool.
And the shape of it and.
Oh. So it's being ridden by Euskaltel Euskadi team, and presumably they're testing the new bike out. I'm intrigued to find out a little bit more. So when we find out more, we'll let everyone know. Yeah. What have we got next?
Diamond chain.
A diamond chain?
Well, it's not made of diamonds. Oh. This, right, is a diamond polished chain.
Yes.
So each chain gets a diamond bath in diamonds.
Real diamonds?
For 72 hours. But they're not like, it's not like big diamonds like that you have on
your earrings.
Yeah. It's like diamond powder, so teeny tiny diamonds. Oh, okay. And then after it's been in the diamonds, which smooths it out, they then put Silka's super secret hot wax mega lube on it, and then apparently 0.6 to 0.8 watts faster, and it's 200 smackers if you want one.
Maybe $200. Yeah. Maybe something to save for a special occasion.
Yes, I think I'd quite like one for them. I've got a special occasion in mind.
Yeah. What's that? A GCN social ride?
Just recovery ride.
Yeah. God. Anyway, up next, we've got a brand new bike from Official Bataille, and it's the Portofino 2021. Are you impressed with my pronunciation of that? Pronunciation,
yes.
And it is, wait for this, the Anniversario Edizione.
God, you're basically Italian.
I am basically Italian.
I know. You
Westbury
look Italian.
in the Lombardia region.
Yeah. God, you're so Italian.
Thanks, that means a lot. So this is Official Bataille's oversized steel-tubed frame, and it uses a proprietary lug system. It also has a carbon fibre fork, integrated brake hoses. There's a lot going on for this steel bike.
Oh, I'm into it.
So the reason for this special bike is it's actually a 40th anniversary edition, and each one features a gold-plated emblem and a diamond, similar to the one I mentioned probably a couple of months ago now. But pretty cool looking, isn't it? It's like a classy, traditional sort of looking bike.
I'm into it. I've got a lot of time for that. Next up, gravel shoes, gravel-specific shoes. These aren't any gravel-specific shoes. Oh no, they're from Adidas, or if you prefer to call it, Adidas. Divisive subject. Yeah. Right up there with mudguards or no mud guards or disc brakes or rim brakes. Yeah. Anyhow,
all the good stuff. 2-bolt cleat fitment these have got. They've got a knitted sort of sock design to help try and keep all the dirt and dust out. They've got nylon outsole, and I think they've got TPU little grippers underneath. Oh. Lace-up design. Quite a lot going for them. Yeah.
Adidas have been like really going after cycling shoes recently, haven't they? They've got quite a few.
They've got quite a few cycling products on the way. Yeah, pretty cool. Up next, we've got a shop devoted to selling 2 of your favourite things, or at least one of your favourite things: spokes and nipples.
Yeah, I love spokes.
Yeah, you do love spokes. So normally, when you want to go buy spokes and nipples, you have to pretty much buy them in bulk. So they've sort of seen a bit of a gap in the market, it would appear, and they're selling them as individual items.
Get any spoke, any nipple?
Pretty much, I presume so, yeah. Their whole business model is geared around spokes and nipples sold on an individual basis.
Where is this magical shop? I want to visit it.
Unfortunately, it is online only, so I guess it doesn't really lend itself
That's
to...
disappointing. Yeah. I feel like you've oversold that. I was hoping to visit the majesty that is the spoke specialist shop.
Well, anyway, if you have got a damaged wheel, maybe it's quite useful if you just need to buy one spoke.
Still wish it was a shop though.
Yeah, there you go.
Next up, we promised you a group set for less than $300, and here it is. This is from Microshift, which, in case you're unfamiliar, Microshift have been making components and group sets for a really long time, but they're quite a bit smaller than the big 3, Shimano, Campag,
minuscule,
SRAM.
in fact.
Yes, but we've often seen their components on bikes, on some of the low-end entry-level bikes from Decathlon. Yeah. And here they've got a group set that's 1x and 10-speed, for $300.
So for your $300, well, just under $300, you get a set of shifters, 10-speed compatible, mechanical obviously, not hydraulic. You get a rear derailleur, which has a clutch in it, and also you get your 10-speed cassette, which is 11 through to a 48, so quite a wide, it's aimed at gravel riding basically.
Nice big range.
So then you basically add in the other 10-speed components that you want to use with it. Quite cool. Maybe a good way of upgrading your bike. You're a bit tight on the budget, or you've already got some of the components. Nice. So up next, Harley Davidson, a brand famous for their motorbikes, have teamed up with a company called Serial One to bring us a range of urban sort of city e-bikes. Yeah, so there's 4 bikes available in this range. They've got a Rush Speed, a Rush Step Over, a Rush Step Through, and then finally one called Mosh. Interesting. So they're using a Bros S-Mag e-bike motor for the 3 of them, and then the fastest one, the Rush Speed, uses a slightly different one, and they say it's capable of speeds up to 28 miles an hour.
Wow, bad to the bone.
It is bad to the bone.
Tell you what, Terminator 2 would have been a completely different film, wouldn't it, if Arnold Schwarzenegger had walked into that bar at the start and demanded that man's bike, boots and e-bike.
Excuse me, I need your Rush Speed immediately.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to swathes of Hell's Angels.
They're quite cool.
Careering down the Bristol to bike path on their Harley Davidson.
These are using something that's quite cool about these though. They are using the Gates carbon belt drive, which is good for easy sort of maintenance. You haven't got to worry about lubing your chain up and stuff like that. But I think they're pretty cool.
You can just save all your lube for other things, can't you?
Yeah. So also these have got a Gates carbon belt drive. Nice, easy, low maintenance solution there.
Wow.
And also, if you are gonna opt for the 28 mile an hour one, you should probably check the sort of local regulations and laws for where you live.
Hey Alex, you told me you had a really cool joke and you wanted me to tee you up.
Oh God, I'm glad you slide that in seamlessly there. So there's a guy called David, yeah? And he's got a son, and he's decided to call him Harvey, purely on the basis that his son can introduce himself as Harley, David's son. Harley Davidson? Yeah? I think he's broken.
Time now for Snacks of the Week. More hot tech next week.
It's now time for my favourite part of the show, Snacks of the Week, and it's been a few weeks since we've featured any snacks, hasn't it?
Yes.
Got an absolute cracker lined up for today. Check.
Wow.
This out. God, it's actually really heavy.
That's amazing.
This is, I believe it's a chocolate fudge brownie cake with salted caramel buttercream.
You've got strong arms. That looks very dense.
It is. I mean, I know I do look particularly weak, but it is actually very heavy for a cake.
Wow.
So, Tour de Stations. This is, well, specifically for you, I guess, not for me. I didn't do the event, did I?
Oh, thank you so much.
You're going to need this to refuel.
Yeah, this is from GCN superfan Steph Spokes.
Yeah.
And her daughter, who's helped her make it. Amazing.
Nice little note and drawing in there as well.
Yeah.
Very good, thanks. God, it is really heavy.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice. More snacks in a few weeks' time, I presume. It's now time for screw riding upgrades by upgrades.
Whoa.
So this is where you submit evidence that you've made your bike's equipment or cycling lives for the chance to win, quite possibly, the ultimate prize.
Oh yeah. Oh, GCN water bottle or bidon if you're French, or Connor.
Oh.
Or pretentious.
Interesting. So I was away last week. I left you and Connor to do the upgrade section, and you didn't announce the results. So we've got two winners to announce this week. So from Tech Show 189, so 2 weeks ago, we had Chris Prey with his tandem record bike and John Choinier.
That's the
mountain
one.
bike to road bike conversion. Anyway,
Close.
The tandem was the winner.
It was close though.
It was close. 58% of the votes went to the tandem. So Chris Prey, get in touch and we'll get the water bottle out to you. Hopefully by special delivery since it's late now.
Yes, and last week we have Bill Jank's 42 restored Huffy Beer Cruiser versus Arik 56 Yard Cell Giant Resto Mod. And the Huffy Cruiser takes it 57%. Yeah. So Bill Jank, get in contact.
Right, this week.
The bottle is yours.
Yeah, this week's upgrades, we've got Raw BG, who says they've inherited their late grandfather's Invarga's Maritar Town Bike 2014, held up well after a quick transformation, but the bottom bracket shaft broke, had to store it for a bit, and then they've decided to do it right. They've got new fork, undamaged threads, sandblasted the frame. God, they've done quite a lot to this. Smoothed it all out, smoothed out the welds, repainted it, relaced the wheels. Basically, it's gone from an old bike to a brand new bike. Lovely picture down by the seaside. Then we've got frame stripped down. Guys, I do like seeing a frame when it's been like sandblasted and stripped all the way down. Then the finish. This is like a cool hipster town bike.
I like it.
Yeah, I do like that.
Cool, I'd love to be bombing around town on that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very smart.
It's like purpley grips. It's got that sort of colour shift paint scheme to it, which is cool. Very sort of Manon-esque colour, isn't it? That?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, who are they up against?
Up against Supercalifragilistic, who has got a 1994 Look KG 171, the type of frame that was ridden by Laurent Jalabert. Oh. So a classic. Apparently it fell into disuse. It used to be his aunt and his dad's bike. Well, they got into cycling and got the bike, but then had subsequently sort of stopped riding. So he stripped it, he cleaned it, totally sorted out the BB, taken away any sort of rust and dirt off it, and then replaced the seized headset with a brand new Dura Ace one. Well, brand new old Dura Ace one.
It's called NOS, New Old Stock.
Yes, very nice, very smart. And also got a set of second-hand Roval deep section wheels for it, which look very, very smart. And tidied up all the sort of, rusted parts, the Chinelli bars, changed the chain cassette, and here you go. New bar tape as well. What do you make of that?
That's cool, isn't it?
I think it's really cool.
Original bike, it looks okay. There's not a lot going on for it, but the finished article, yeah,
it's just really,
like
just a really nice, smart bike. And I think whenever you've got a quality frame as your sort of foundation, your basis, everything else will just fall into place and be good. It's a great example, yeah.
It's very good. It's a good metaphor as well.
Yes.
Foundation and basis. Plus, I mean, a set of deep section wheels make any bike look cool.
Yeah, proper cool. Well, both great upgrades. Yeah. You know what to do. Vote. Click on the link. Vote in the app, and you can decide whose is best.
And we will let you know in next week's show. It's now time for the bike vault, and I think we're going to make it a quick, fast special.
Right, let's just do it.
Right.
No explanation needed this week. Just get the bell out.
Right.
Do it. They can work it out.
Well, so the most super nice bike last week, 533 super nice votes, Angsa.
S-Works tarmac, I mean, it is super nice. The tyre's not quite aligned, but I feel that's the only real infraction here. The bottles are on, the bags are on, but it's all very neat and tidy, and it's just a beautiful bike. Fire away.
First one this week, we've got Int C 620. Fantastic. With, what have we got here?
Specialized
transition. Bike's the wrong way round. 2-minute accessories.
What is going on?
You're walking with the bike.
You're wearing an aero helmet, but you're wearing a baggy t-shirt. Nice.
Nice. Next up, Gus. The Gus There Man.
Gus There Man.
Gus There Man. Wow. Bianchi XR4 2019. Well, there's 2 bikes in there. They do look pretty cool, to be fair.
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, super nice.
Super nice.
Oh, come on. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then we have got GCN 505 in California.
With a beach bike rental.
Nice.
Nice. Next up, Javier Showtime with
Yolio
R11.
Super nice.
Cool paint scheme, yeah, super nice.
Timmy Hunter has now submitted his Cisco Cycles Twisted Steel Custom with Mavic Ceriums on it.
Oh, wow.
Super nice.
Yeah, super nice. Good job.
Next, who have we got?
Pelosi _
Planet X Pro Carbon.
Oh, don't see many of those. Good background as well. Very rural.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to go nice on that one.
Crank's the wrong way round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crank is just really, really not doing it for me. I think nice.
Yeah. Next up, Toby Coates with their Cannondale Topstone. Oh, the lefty fork.
Ooh, I think that's a super nice.
Or, yeah, I'll go super
He's got
nice.
the valves. Look at the valves. He's done the details. He's done the valves.
The valves are at the top. I was going to say they might have hidden the valves in the grass.
In the long grass.
But, fair play.
Good work,
Super
Toby
nice.
Coates. Wow. Well,
that's it.
That's it for the Bike Vault this week. It's also it for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you know the deal.
And also, it's worth checking out Eastbound on GCN Plus. Fantastic documentary with Jenny Graham.
Yeah, but watch that after you've watched the Tour de Stations content at the weekend.
Yeah, do what Ollie says. See ya.